Today down here, we're in Texas by the way, we have a significantly high humidity rate than we did yesterday. So a guitar's neck is obviously going to change because after all it is just a piece of wood with some metal stuck on it. So what you want to do for that is we'll adjust the truss rod after we get it tuned up to pitch, and then we'll have to retune it after we adjust the truss rod. Again, string tension versus spring tension. So let's go ahead and get the guitar tuned up to pitch. We'll plug it in, turn our amp on. Oh yeah, that's close, isn't it? As far as setting the intonation, usually what you're going to find is if you go from a set of 8s to 9s to 9s to 10s, the intonation is going to be so close, you're probably talking about 1 cent, maybe 2 cents. And if being out of intonation that much bothers you, it's a good idea to go ahead and invest in a good strobe tuner. These little TU-12s, these are good for tuning a guitar, but not so good for setting intonation. They're not accurate enough. What we use is a Peterson strobe tuner, model 520. It's like Godzilla. Godzilla coming from the sea, man. It's killer. What we're going to do is kind of rough this in. Let's go ahead and bring the E up. We're just going to go ahead and tune this to a standard A440 or concert pitch. Not going to do any fancy tunings on this because all we're worried about is getting the FLOYD set up. Pretty close for general purposes right yet. Okay, from here, what we want to do, let's focus in on the truss rod. If you've never sighted down a neck, what you want to do is bring the guitar neck up. Look down from the headstock area. Look down the headstock. Look down the side of the neck towards the body. And what you're going to want to do is catch a light source on the edge of the guitar, so that way you can see if the neck is actually sloping back or sloping forward, whether it has strain or relief. Strain means the guitar neck is bending backwards. Relief means it is leaning forward, the strings are higher off the fretboard. This guitar, if you listen, has too much strain. So what we're going to do is release the tension on the truss rod, just a minute amount. Quarter turn is usually the best way to start. You don't want to go too much. Let's go ahead and take a little bit of tension off. It's always a real good idea to go ahead and have the proper wrench. So once you strip this truss rod nut out, it's a beast to replace. And it's not fun and it's not cheap. It can be done, but it is not a fun thing. There's 1/4 turn. There's a 1/2 turn. 1/2 turn looks like it's pretty close. Go ahead and sighten down the neck to make sure that everything looks in line. Sometimes, depending on how long the guitar has been out of whack meaning that the truss rod is not adjusted properly, it may take a couple of seconds or a little more for the neck to come back into where it's supposed to be. And we're right on right